welcome back. You still watch the breakfast show live na Liberty Online TV na the different platform them. Also, you dey watch with this morning. And from that court report today, we can look at the topic where we tell una say we dey deal with today. Also, we dey ask the ECSL if they're ready for let diasporans the when Sierra Leoneans them be part of the country in national elections in terms of registering and say voting from the different parts in the world. Outside and day. Well, now the studio this morning from the ECSL, we get the Director of External Relations, Albert Masakoy. Good morning and welcome to the breakfast show.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right, so we know say this conversation now one way we've been on the get for a very long time because the 2002 Act for Honor, it dey inside they say Sierra Leoneans and with the other parts in the world for the take part in elections. But from that same day to now, with all the changes we don't happen, not ever see the ECSL make. Well, I don't want to say an attempt, but we don't ever see the ECSL allow Sierra Leoneans them within the diaspora for votes and register in the different parts them within the world. Now we see talking about electoral reforms from the tripartite committee again. This same topic don't come up to a point where the Attorney General now, Alpha Sisi, don't even go make a known to the diasporans them na then Civic Day series for say this now thing where they still a push for let the diasporans them begin for votes. But let me just go back to the 2002 law where initially we don't state say then set of people here supposed for the take part by elections because we all know say when elections can happen, then you need for spend for less than different countries them can register, go back, wait them for votes come, the one that we're able for can vote. But take we back, why this discussion don't come up again fresh, even though from 2002 we don't dey inside una act una supposed for don't they do this work?
Yeah, thank you very much. As you mentioned in the intro, the Electoral Laws Act of 2002 being captured some portion in that regard. And even when we transition to the Public Elections Act of 2012, even the Public Elections Act, when we review them 2022, it now we laws, but it is limited. The provision where they only make the state clearly say the Electoral Commission may. So that word may, it's discretional. It means say we can do them. Even if we not do them, it's not bad again. So now so it don't dey always not the law. So from history in the 2000s, 2012, 2018, 2023, the Electoral Commission always they look at diaspora participation, very key, even in we strategic plan. The 2010-2014 strategic plan, some portion been there. For make we think about the idea of doing it. The 2015 to 2019 strategic plan, it been there. But because the law itself will be provide for that, it only say the Electoral Commission may. And it involves so many other things. One, the clarity not been there with regards to the law, and the aspect of whether shall or may come in, because when it is shall, it becomes a must, mandatory. And we look at them say, when we plan, something not even enough for make you plan for national activities, then the aspect of may come inside for diaspora, in as much as the intention, the willingness, but the other logistical things we can surround them. We can watch and say, okay, a day now we plan, but make with the left hand for us. And interestingly, over this period for over 15 years, Sierra Leone don't they assist Guinea, because then they do diaspora participation in the conduct of elections. We they assist them in providing certain basic logistical support. In 2010, some around about 3 or 4 times now don't they do them. But by and large, when you look at the current legal provision, it limited. But the good thing is, from these tripartite recommendations, you get recommendation 79. We make them clear about the issue of the committee. They recognize early and diaspora voting and will suggest this issue to be discussed in a national dialogue. So it's good. The commission is not averse to it. The commission accepts because it's a progressive way of participation. Even the current proposed strategic plan where the commission they put forward for 2025 to 2029, it talk about waiting, participation and inclusion. And diaspora participation is part of this broader inclusion. So the commission see them as a welcoming idea, and it's good for national conversation, but we need so much other discussion for be involved in it. Because in the current law as it is, they just say the commission may. So if we are looking at reforms them where they come, it needs to go beyond that may, because so many things get to be involved in it. For example, the commission gets the power for draw centers, for identify polling or registration centers will eventually go turn to polling centers. So we need to get some of them things in there. It's not only the law, but even some regulations, because even like then things are what they do when we want to put together registration centers, polling centers, would they make regulations and all of them things in there. So it is necessary for make we begin identify, for example, outside the registration centers could be, or is it going to be in a phased process? Wherein, when you say diaspora, it's a broad definition. For example, some man go say, let's start with Guinea and Liberia as diaspora, or the concentration of outside Sierra Leoneans then, because like even like Guinea, their own diaspora participation, electoral participation, they limit them to countries like Sierra Leone, Liberia, and all of them things they do. So the national conversation, it actually will be centered around one outside the process get for the take place. Would that get for be involved in it, and even how the political parties get for be part of this process, because we are now like opening up the participation not only to Sierra Leone, Sierra Leoneans inside Sierra Leone, but now Sierra Leoneans outside of Sierra Leone. But by and large, it is a very laudable idea, because a day now it always be done now with strategic plans, but will not be able to do them. Also now they as a recommendation 79 in the tripartite recommendation, and government self in the form of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, we don't come out, don't make them clear. So these conversations are good. Coming to whether we have the capacity, the first issue is if the law is there, we make them clear. Definitely the ECSL will upscale. Upscale simply means, if we talk about like example, when we get like 4 regions, when we get 5 regions, the commission upscale, having like regional commissioner, you have district where you go into all of anything. So as we get new frontiers, definitely the commission go upscale, just like even the political parties, everybody go upscale for make we ensure say these are the new areas where we go into. But be rest assured, the commission will get the capacity, because we get wealth of experience in dealing with them things here.
Talking about experience, many a times, especially where now a new policy, if I can say, or now want to implement something way new, it can be a bit challenging. I'll take you back to the term where on I want for use the on upgrade on a ID card them. A lot of issues been come out. Some man go say me face too black. Some man go say I not see me is. Then in a technology been fail ECSL. So now in terms of exploring the possible means, what are the best card where ECSL they think for put forward?
Well, these are early times in this discussion, this national discourse. But if from an electoral perspective, from somebody we get knowledge, expert knowledge in elections administration, we need to identify the areas, demarcate usai we call diaspora frontiers. That's the one major area we need to identify. And even in the diaspora, we also get areas that we call Sierra Leone out in the diaspora. Is it going to be the embassies? So how the embassies get transformed into some of them things here. Apart from that, we also get good working relationship with other EMBs outside of this country. For example, when we want to do electoral activity, we went to Guinea. When Liberia, we also want to do some activity, they came to Sierra Leone. So we get other partners like ECONEC, you get like AWEB, you get international EMBs, that's electoral management bodies. So some of them discussions here can go beyond not only for Sierra Leone, wherein we lend support, wherein if other countries get election bodies, we get structures, we can team up with them. Just like how Guinea, when they do their own participation in Sierra Leone, then they come with some few personnel, but then they rely on the country where they come for make them assist them. Like we district staff them all over the countryside, the Guineans and participate. We district staff then go and give support, not to them do the work, but then Goody then give support. So the discussion therefore involved a lot of other players for come in and look at it. Again, waiting key now the issue of funding, because it therefore involved a lot of logistics, because the whole thing is elections very expensive. The conduct of elections, the administration of elections, very expensive. So now a matter of, are we ready as a state, you and me, taxpayers, if we are ready to put in some of them monies, then they fine. There have been a lot of discussions in that regard. I can still recall sometime between the 2015 and 2019 strategic plan. Some people will be represent the diaspora in some of our engagement. Some man say, if somebody spend thousands of dollars for can register, maybe you don't mind for spend few dollars for make a funding the process, but all of them things are it get for be part of the national conversation. It is only when it passed our parliament, then parliament now go establish clearly now, say would I get for fund this kind of process, waiting get for happen, would I get for be involved. But it's a good idea, it's fine for me to begin think about them.
It's on our experience, expertise, and all of what we don't do by election business. Like you said, don't say a possible Sierra Leoneans and they everywhere in the world. And if the law where they propose, they say diasporans them. From your experience, is it possible if they pass this law for say Sierra Leoneans them everywhere in the world, the ECSL una go suggest for then the votes una go able for do the monitoring process, or una go just suggest it for starts, let's limit on the region and see how we go for the ECSL.
Well, we as ECSL, we are part of the conversation, but we don't forget a voice we will come out clear. Yes, now we do the work. If the law say we go now 100 frontiers, then we just get the resources for go out there. We no want for beginning. I just bring some of them.
In terms of management, unable management like the whole world do say Sierra Leoneans and the elections emergency then they register now in different states or countries them side and they and votes. Una get the capacity.
It is doable. Yes, we can upscale that capacity. Now I give example. In the past 10-15 years ago, we only been get 4 regions. Then when we get a 5th region, the Northwest, and we get districts like new districts, what we do as Electoral Commission is for make ourselves look at the laws with regards to elections. For say, okay, well, now if there is a 6th region, we are going to create structures where they cater for the 6th region. So if we are talking about diaspora electoral regions, then of course we as Electoral Commission will look at all of them things here for say, if na 2, na 10, na 20, na 50, as the case may be, I'm sure the national conversation therefore look at all of them things and they put together. For us, we don't want for limit, say, for a start, let's just look at the immediate sub-region. We don't want for limit that. For us, as long as there is a law, as long as structures then they in place, I mean, we they go about for make we do only that we go involved so many other institutions and players. For example, waiting there for be key in this now the aspect of the embassies and high commissions, because these are these institutions.
Then begin get the perspective of the ECSL, because the conversation is on now, and I think kind of conversation I believe say the AG they encourage people and for the get people in the land as to waiting for expect, because the one way not just the country na the whole cry and draw done the elections talking about expanding it to everywhere in the world.
Well, the good thing is as the EMB, as ECSL when they go out, so also even the political parties, they self get their representation all over. You go anywhere outside Sierra Leone and you get the political parties where they self get their representation. So you get to see how all of them things are, everybody go be involved. So it's good, it's a national conversation. As far as we're concerned, on the part of the ECSL, we're able to work as long as the law, the procedures don't come up. When the law don't establish, say, there is going to be, not so like the law will be known the Electoral Commission may, when the law don't come out clearly, when the Office of the Attorney General go down table that law, Parliament don't look at them from a national perspective. When it don't come out clearly, what the Electoral Commission go do now is for upscale. Now make us still use how we upscaled from 4 regions to 5 regions. So forget diaspora frontier. The Electoral Commission will also upscale for make we meet with the challenges of these new regions. But it has to be very much involving, where logistics is key. So that's the reason why our frontiers will likely be the use of embassies, because these institutions are representing Sierra Leone out there. Or we talk to other EMBs. For example, the Electoral Commission na Liberia, the Electoral Commission na Guinea, na Nigeria, for example. Because they get structured, we can use them, just like we are helping the Guinean Electoral Commission when they conduct their activity now, we come in and give support. So all of them discussions here can go on. But by and large, it's a laudable one. It's a progressive suggestion, because it didn't have the tripartite recommendations where political parties don't look at them. Then it always be done there now with strategic plan. But now we are coming to the actualities now for make we see if it go possible for me happen.
Albert, you say now a progressive move, and it seemed like the ECSL they in agreement with that suggestion, they in the tripartite recommendation we talk about for creating 6th region so that the diaspora themselves will begin contribute meaningfully in Sierra Leone electoral processes. But as it is now, the conversation just seem for the within certain circle them, and even the diaspora region where this now for them, and all come out to the public until where the AG make that pronouncement, a gathering of Sierra Leonean them. How ECSL go work with political parties for ensure say let them go back and talk to them, constituents them, then people them, for say this is a very laudable venture where ECSL might, if Parliament approve them, use inside the next elections?
Well, ECSL is a state institution where we self responsible and accountable to the people of Sierra Leone. We are going to be part of the conversation in allaying the fears of Sierra Leoneans that if it becomes law, we get the capacity for doing. We just need for upskill with expertise and we link and all of them things and but it's good for make the current parliament think about them. So we all, who say I belong to a constituency, I get member of parliament like anyone of we Nayaso, for make we all look at them. Let it be a national conversation. For us, when it becomes a law, ECSL, now for make we just conduct whatever. We always go there in agreement, because in the past, 2-3 cycles them we don't get strategic plan. We always can put them there, but we can just put them no more for say until we get law where they talk about that, but it not be meaningful, because the law simply say the Electoral Commission may. So we want to see certain legal provisions now when they talk about me, where they say the Electoral Commission shall, just like how they do with the conduct registration inside country. Now, so for conduct registration, we will use now like shall. Then it becomes incumbent upon us now, the Electoral Commission, civil society, the political parties, all actors, we all gather together and push and get this diaspora frontier.
All right. Continue for the tonight program, Albert. In case it's just a tuning in, they watch the breakfast show where they come to you live from Liberty Online TV, and we get the Director of Communication and External Relations from the Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone when they get a mandate for conduct all election them where they happen at the country. And today we look at recommendation 79. Now the tripartite committee they reports where they talk about creating the 6th region. Women say ECSL for consider after we Parliament go to approve this particular law for the next elections, let the diaspora region, salon people away they overseas for let themselves get opportunity for begin contribute inside the country electoral processes. The women say salon people away they overseas go begin register and vote na the next elections will go be 2028. While we don't hear from ECSL in terms of preparedness for Albert, they just need for upscale because the structures already they in place. Well, we get key player them we talk about elections in the country. We get civil society them we na key player them into the country electoral process, and we get a big coalition we make up of different civil society organization them where for many years they don't observe election at the country and self they don't work closely with ECSL, and this coalition then call themselves the National Elections Watch New. And this morning we get a national coordinator when Reverend James Lahai. Good morning, Reverend.
Good morning.
I like your hat.
Oh, thank you
Your
very
safari
much.
hat.
Thank you very much.
And all man will say we cannot discuss elections or electoral processes without ECSL, we camp and the monitoring aspects, because not only I beg your pardon, new. Without talking to new, because una an integral part of new, although that can go on a plabber sometimes, but una don't they work together. Recommendation 79 of the tripartite reports, they talk about creating a 6th region, and we just listen to Albert, then just need this law for going to parliament approve then just need for upscale. The ECSL, we don't work with over the years. Firstly, as a civil society organization, what do you think about recommendation 78, we say for create a 79, sorry, we say for create a 6th region?
Thank you very much. Before the address that you question, I hear you say all man no see new na an integral part of the electoral process. You consult the Electoral Commission for know if they part of that all man.
Well, we as journalists we don't use for you now and they work together. Now from that perspective, they may come out for.
Okay, all right. For us, it's a laudable venture. But our concern is whether there is the required infrastructure for managing. There is a lot of trust issues for our electoral system in the country, where the public not get confidence see the Electoral Commission go be neutral, go be impartial, and go be professional in doing their job. And so, for me, now that's not the biggest concern. And like Albert they say, strategic plan after strategic plan, then they indicate say there is the need for do diaspora election, for let election take place in places who say Salundi. But what I go to know from the Electoral Commission, whether we don't put some na the strategic plan, what efforts have they been making for prepare so that when the time ripe, we will do them? Is it only now that the Attorney General and Minister of Justice don't talk to a crowd that they are starting to think of working on that? Because by now, after all, I not say they don't do about three strategic plans, whether proposed or they inside it. Have they been working towards concretizing, putting in place the mechanisms we go able to allow this to happen, we go serve the best interest of the people? Because ultimately they discuss, it is about making sure that the voice of the people matter, especially at the ballot box. We don't see in 2023 where people they cry say the voice of the people did not count. And we get observers, especially we, the National Election Watch, we observe the election and use technology even in the election. We are not say if the diaspora vote business inside, they say get for rely on technology. And I hope say they will get respect for technology. We use technology and we outcome and projection be they far at variance with what the Electoral Commission will come with. And from that time, for let us sit together with the Electoral Commission and see what happened, how we can go about to make sure that future elections no go get their kind of experiences. The Electoral Commission don't refuse for sit with we. After several efforts, and this is not about the people who are working in the Electoral Commission. The Electoral Commission is a state enterprise put together for ensure say they manage the electoral processes of this country. So it is not about the opinion of the individuals working there or how they feel about other people where they interact with the electoral process. It is about making sure that every voice counts, not only those who hail you or clap for you. Even the voice you do not want to hear might be of value. So for we actually start for think about making sure that Sierra Leoneans outside of the country also begin to participate in electoral process. I think that's brilliant, because for now it is very expensive on people in the diaspora for participating in the process. You get for come register, you get for come verify, you get for come for collect your voting ID card, you get for come vote, you get for come if there's a runoff for let you can vote. I mean, imagine, because alone we ticket airport, they pass outside there we saloon. So imagine somebody they pay 2,500 like for come out US for come back and go. So 5. Dana 12,500 you get for pack dandy they be 2 mepala for winning at this place here. So if they're able to cut down from them and they participate, it's fine. But let the Electoral Commission tell we see, or let them make clear we know, since this thing we don't do na their mind for a very long time, what preparations have they been making towards this? Let them not just hand per waiting the Attorney General don't say.
For Albert, as it is now, as soon as Parliament agree for this particular recommendation 79, now the tripartite, then just need for upscale. We mean say the infrastructure already there.
I don't want let you fall for that bit. No. You know they say the infrastructure is there.
Debate, Reverend, I know they fall for debate, but considering this is a public platform,
what is the evidence?
Albert, no can consider here.
So what is the evidence?
ECSL just need for upscale. They are already structured because for them, then don't they put another strategic plan? But because the law been just say ECSL may, now make nobody don't use them. Now that the tripartite don't recommend as part of the electoral reforms, then just they wait for Parliament. Parliament pass today, they are in a position, they get the capacity for doing.
The use of may not say the Electoral Commission no go do am. They go do am or they no go do am. So the authority is already there for them to do it. So it's not about the issue of may. For like they self already say the law don't give backing if they want for let they able do am. No more, not to compulsory on them for able to do am. Now no more that may they use. So but if they will not begin the think come, let them give you the evidence of the preparations so they don't they do. Because we know they just go now by the talk say upscale. Let we look at we don't do this. We don't do A. We don't begin prepare with embassies. We don't begin relate with electoral commissions. Now decide them way we go on for take the elections outside the country. We don't even watch and get a data on Sierra Leoneans, their concentration in various types of country. This is the kind of data. And we don't already relate with other electoral commissions who say we intend. And we don't even identify by the data we get the countries who say we feel say we have a concentration of Sierra Leoneans, now that's why we go target. And also, we don't look at resources available and possibly pending. And we don't see say if possible we can do it in country A, B, and C. Then we know that preparations have been underway for let this year come to reality. Enough fine let we do something for let it throw we back. Just like what Albert say is progressive, let's work towards it being progressive. When means say it serve the interest and purpose of this country.
And the resources we just make mention of now, one of the things them way Albert just states as one of them self ECSL concern. If Parliament will get for grief for this, the resources, if you go for do this, and also the scaling up for letting go able for do one, but see assure the people and say then go able to do if the resources they then go just scale up and do the work. But for new, the National Elections Watch now don't get experience by election business both locally and internationally. Waiting on a fair if Parliament agrees say let this law take effect this 2028 elections, we Salonge forget. Waiting a new them biggest fear.
We biggest fear now whether the Electoral Commission is prepared to have everybody on board. Or they get for look at people where they think like them, irrespective of whether they actually go positively contribute to the process or not. That not the
people they think like them. What do you mean?
What I mean, like 2023 elections, we see several election observation groups that we call up. After the election, the report was the election is free and fair. Full stop. Where the report, what's in our methodology? How we engage with the process? And now there are organizations where the Electoral Commission don't decide for the work with, even now. Since that election, we don't try for we put 2023 to back and begin program for 2028. They have refused. We don't invite them for our processes severally. They have refused to go there. They have refused to allow us participate in electoral processes. And in fact, they are going against the spirit of democracy. Because we are citizens of this country. We don't organize ourselves. And we are desirous to participate. Why are they stopping us? And they don't go a step higher. Till when ever happen. Paramount chieftaincy election. We observe and then go there for go observe. Then pull and commodity, they say they don't get accreditation. Look Alberto Sedona. They know they accredit for Paramount chieftaincy election. It has never happened. Now a community election, and a community people then they did it. And they will observe us them way with the recruit. Would they recruit them from the community? So what I am saying here is, let the Electoral Commission tell you say they are really prepared for change. They are really prepared to work for the betterment of this country.
From new them points, waiting the Electoral Commission for do now, wait for showing us say they're not ready for this change where they talk about.
Let them open up.
But waiting and they hide.
Look, Albert, ask her now for answer that question. If then they hide something, why they know they allow organizations who don't observe elections in 2002, 2004 local council elections, 2007, 2012, 2018, 2023, and after each of their observation then they come out with cogent reports where they outline their findings. They stop there. They come out with recommendations where they feel say subsequent elections will be better, and they have been utilizing it.
Reverend, you think so the ECSL they compromise their job? Because earlier you make mention say if they not go choose body them for work where they think like them, you think so then they compromise their job?
This is not about compromise.
In terms of being neutral.
This is about bringing personality into your professional job. We're not correct.
Now that's it happening at the ECSL.
Exactly.
All right.
Which is not correct.
Will they come back to you quickly about everyone make strong allegation them against ECSL, the body they represent now, and anybody they listen to and now listening to their allegation there, it clearly shows that there is a stalemate between the ECSL and new. First is say una for open up, we accuse una say una not open up. Then secondly, he accuse una of exclusion, especially body them we suppose for work with the ECSL in terms of the monitoring aspect. And third, he say una not ready for this particular law if Parliament pass them.
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, the discussion on diaspora participation, we don't reduce them to new accusing ECSL. I don't go down that route, actually. With regards to the issue, if new gets any issue, we can meet and engage, but make we not use this national platform for make we come they throw shades at each other. With regards to the issue of we don't have the capacity, as I'll use the word with the upscale, and that is what we did when we had 4 regions. A 5th region was created, the Northwest. What we did as a commission, we upscale for ensure see the structures we necessary for make we conduct election. Now the 5th region when I Northwest, we do what we supposed to do. We register there, we conduct election there. So equally, if this issue of diaspora don't come, the commission just need for upscale. We've had this thing now with strategic plan. Now that's the reason why I mentioned in our laws the issue of me. If we for do them, even if we not do them, you know always to task. Now that's the media about. We can do them. If we do them, fine. But even if we not do them, and the commission, as every Sierra Leonean, being constrained, not normally think about diaspora participation. 2007, even when we get the plan, 2012, 2018, 2023, the plan go there, but we can just okay, may wait for us. It's a whole national. That's the reason why, if you look at recommendation 79, it said the issue for be discussed in a national dialogue. Apparently, when look don't put the cat before the horse. Let's start the national dialogue now, wherein how the regulations go look like, how the legal reforms go look like. Because if you look at the timeline, we'd expect say by September, October 2025, the Office of the Attorney General for don't take some of them reforms here to Parliament.
Because at that same time frame there, I draw your attention.
Yes.
Elections get timetable.
Yes.
When I get on a strategic planning where on a safety do.
Yes.
If this May clause, now this particular law, go Parliament, it go change to shall. Una get the infrastructures them, we go ensure say 2028 diasporas them votes, because all this while, like you say, be done they bona May, so na nobody consider them.
Yes.
Are there structures that the different parts in the world, also Sierra Leoneans and they fall this?
We get the Electoral Commission gets a structure. Waiting the Electoral Commission for do is for upskill.
Waiting at the structures them way they.
For example, the same registration we they do na Brookfields, or na McKinney, or na Bo. Now the same registration, the same form, now we'll use wherever we get for go for open registration center, wherever na the diaspora. Not so like for say, like if we ever print 2,000 forms, now we'll print 2,300 forms, because the 300 forms, they target the diaspora. So that is a structure. The issue of staffing, the one we get for do the work now, if we get registered the way we do work now, now so we go recruit, register them, when as Sierra Leoneans them, we go be involved. So the issue of upscaling simply means not that we are leaving everything we don't do na Sierra Leone and go find new ways and means how they do them, but rather how would they look at it now. That's the reason why I made mention, say, ECSL, like Sierra Leone, we belong to so many other multilateral institutions.
Because the way how you explain us, it seems like it's simple, but for apply them, might be a whole different ball game.
Indeed.
Yeah, for example, where TMKH for just see schools, community fields, and space them where they are around, and other countries them get the new way how then they operate. So how you explain them so simple. Now so go for happen for the ECSL where the time they reach then structures here where you say they in place.
Well, the national conversation will bring all of them things here out. For example, I made mention, say, we already get Sierra Leone in other countries. We get embassies, we get high commissions. These are possible areas. Apart from that, we get electoral commissions in other countries. Just like how we help Guinea. When Guinea be do their own activity in Sierra Leone, then come to we provide support. So we get all of the structures there. Now, just a matter of when the national conversation, when it don't develop, some of the regulations the way they come after, when it go don't pass na parliament, now then things I they look at. Now it go then now as a regulation, see, when the electoral commission they organize for do voter registration. You not only they do them inside Sierra Leone, but it will consider the embassies and high commission, then it becomes incumbent. But now, whatever we are saying is just like we are thinking and planning. But make we not put the cart before the horse, because now when this issue reach now parliament, then debate them, everybody come with your own voice. Then we they see the roadmap. But now everything vague. The good thing is, I'm sure everybody so far, they in line with them. Because if you look at the recommendation from the tripartite, it come up from the two main political parties waving in the parliament, when are the APC and the SLPP. Now then sit down together with this tripartite recommendation come out. That is very good. We see government serve through the office of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice. So we see everybody. Now how the concerns now how we go put in place. For example, so many people, some will say, well, even with embassies, with high commissions, these are quote-unquote political institutions. But again, this conversation will therefore ensure, say, we make them clear, Usai will demarcate as a registration point or not. Let us don't put the cart before the horse. From the national conversation, then things will come out clearly. But waiting, I go assure Sierra Leoneans then, when we reach that point, the commission, they upskill. Meaning, if you get staff where they work na Cambia, that staff will employ another one, we go over Nagini. Now just start at the sea.
With the way how technology they evolve now, it clearly they show say the next elections 2028, ECSL go use lots of technology technique them for ensure a smooth operation of that particular elections. Maybe even this diaspora voting what they discussed this morning. But ECSL respect for technology. Now the one we get big question mark according to Reverend.
Let us go back to our laws. Sincerely, when you look at our electoral laws, it's really clear about clerical actions or activities, which means a lot of what we do now paperwork manual. So in as much as we use technology for upgrade our electoral process, but we have to be very much mindful about this type of laws we get. Even if you do all of them technology, when it comes to, it has to be manual. For example, the current law we get, it need to talk about issue of voting using technology. You vote in person where you come and you ballot paper. It has to be done manually. So in as much as we think technologically, let us look at the current laws as they are. But what they see.
But if they try for upscale, I sure say they try for also implement best practices. If you dey into the elections, you dey see say lots of the electoral commission then they move forward for make the electoral process become more seamless. You they see country them now, especially East African country, that before they say election, they don't pull results. So if you are moving towards best practices, why not thinking around, go back? Wanna be ready for use the PR system for 2023 elections? So now go to parliament for amend on a Public Elections Act, Albert.
Well, the issue is you make mention of parliament. All of these are laws. We are hoping that all of them find recommendations, then reviews, then reforms when it reaches the parliament. We have been doing some of these things.
But so what I try for say, owner self get a role for play. In all FIBA like how you want for presenter like not just parliament. If una know say this they enhance una work, una get a window for go back na parliament for amend sat inside them of una Public Elections Act.
Well, the Electoral Commission know they go to parliament through the office of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice. That's the reason why all of them recommendations here, they're not under the purview of ECSL. Then they're under the purview of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice. So I want to make we get that clear. Make look as if, because we want to make election look this way, we are going to change the law. ECSL know they change law. We know they make law. What we use is the existing legal framework. Now, in which they use, our wish would always be if then laws are so progressive as they are. But again, there is always this talk about best practice and legality. Even if you talk about best practice, in the first place, is it legal? Legal simply means is it within our laws? Because most times, a lot of people can go pushed on best practice, failing to realize that if you're not in a law, if not a part of your law, it is not your law.
But the law nothing where they change. Although yes, now the Attorney General in office go take them to Parliament, but there is no way the Attorney General in office go take a law for ECSL to Parliament on another waiting the inside.
We always get engagement.
Yes, so na period and day where people expect say the concerns and where they come of best practices, ECSL for use that term for ensure say best practices they into the laws of the country.
Okay, make I give a scenario way back in between 2018 to 2023 during the EOM recommendations, the elections observation missions. The commission ECSL appreciates a very good number of the progressive laws them, but unfortunately they're not passed in Parliament. For example, not only now they talk about fixed dates. Even after 2018 elections, the idea of fixed dates came. ECSL, stakeholders, civil society, observer missions will all gather together for push some of the reforms and they not pass in Parliament.
Including you.
All stakeholders, including political parties, and then they name one institution, including political parties. We push them things in there, but it not pass in Parliament.
Part of the problem.
Well, I know how for
best practices for the ECSL because you clearly the state say you know pass na Parliament. We mean say una be don't do na best for best practices for election, but Parliament's not agree.
Well, we all get members of Parliament. I just give them instances here so that we understand. Even like the issue of that 12 months resignation for public servants. We don't talk about them, say, make it go down to, we all agree, civil society, political parties, everybody will come together, ECSL, state institutions, say, make we reduce them to 6 months. But when you go to Parliament, Parliament say no. So whatever we they do, it's good to think progressively. But my own caution is, if it is the law has to be reviewed. And when we change the law, for we, na ECSL, now waiting then at the law, now we they implement. Now we do go by. In as much as some 10 days, sometimes it can be at variance with best practice. So the issue is, when it reach the Parliament, our responsibility is for make all of them things are, for example, all of them fine recommendations here. Even this issue of diaspora participation, again for going to Parliament. Now waiting come on a Parliament, now we get for determine on.
All right. So Reverend, the same tripartite recommendation them. Like I tell Albert earlier, not so everybody don't take in time for look at these reforms. And even the international donor partner, they will spend lots of money for say let ECSL go back to the drawing board, do some reforms, and now the recommendations are out there. UNASEF as civil society organization get a role for play for tell people they're waiting the inside the recommendation. Political parties, themselves get a new role for play. I know say they'll just zoom into recommendation 79, but generally the reforms way for happen at ECSL based on the implementation of the recommendation there. As a civil society, how you can assess the pace at which the stakeholder they all get the will for implement them for ensure say 2028 be free, fair and credible. The country not go then a position again where then be there 2023 and up till now we are talking about elections.
Thank you very much. Albert seemed for like one phrase for put the cart before the horse. But if the horse they walk backwards, now therefore put the cart so they go walk well. You know, to the question you don't ask, I would draw attention to the post-election activities of 2018. We make sure say we collaborate with the Electoral Commission and bring all recommendations from various election observer missions and collapse them into a document where we categorize under 6 pillars and also identify whose institutions or ministries responsible for action their recommendations then they. So So then they been give opportunity for level able for follow up, for level able for assess, and in that period, we will take up the onus now for visit each institution we suppose for action recommendations. We visit them, face them with their recommendations, ask them for theory, how far they don't go with implementation, what are the challenges, whose collaboration they require for able to move on. Then they be helpful for come out with a report where we present outside the Electoral Commission they all been there. And it was highly appreciated. In fact, PPRC be requesting for let we give them that recommendation because we show exactly whose recommendations they don't action, whose recommendations they don't actuate and why, whose collaboration what they want, and then they be able to serve for let we able know even before the recommendations they go through the Minister of Justice, we know all within the happen. So we know exactly how we did. So we'll be able to know the pace at which it will go. If you watch the Public Elections Act 2022, Albert, I believe I'm honest. It will tell you, say, most of what's in National Election Watch being produced a day inside that particular thing day. And so we want for provide support for CC, not only recommendation 79, but also all the recommendations for let them will be sincerely acted upon. Because this for be an opportunity. Just like how the president, they always reiterate, no one left this country in a state who say every election na Allah go get for the day. So the one they were charged with the responsibility for make sure say this kind of thing happen, like how the president they envisage. Now they need for wake up, let them put down the slumber, let them old tricks, let we left them. You see, Albert is talking like politicians. And he not a politician, he na an election expert. Let it talk plain. Let we leave this thing, the law, the may, the shall. That's not the issue. The may, you say, don't clarify, say, if they say may, it left to you for drum or not for drum. If you don't drum, they don't go hold you. True. But it also, that the discretion, it don't become discretional. That you can do. And when we done, they put on a strategic plan. So which means this is something you are thinking about seriously. And if something you are thinking about seriously, you must have been working towards it. So that anytime anything happens, it does not take you unawares. When at that 10 day, you will begin to sit down for member how I go upscale. And this issue of upscale, hold me. Where Albert, they bring in the fifth region. Me, I don't even understand. That fifth region has always been there as part of their electoral processes. They always be done they conduct election at that place day. They always be don't get data on the voting population of that area day. You know, so it's not like it was a Herculean task for it was just dividing the same space, which is very different from what's coming to happen now. Now we are going in fact outside our own jurisdiction. We got for member whether the laws of their country then they can even able to accommodate what you want for do. You know, so let we not put the thing as simple. I like the concern where you be raised for say this thing they put out like I say is simple. If we don't begin face the truth about this thing, we are going to miss out. And for we, it will pain we, because we have spent most of our years working to ensure that we get processes which will make this country better. So any opportunity we will see, and then we will not take advantage of them, and then we go back, it will be disappointing to us.
For best practices, according to Albert, like you said, don't say, maybe explain and say, then get the structures them, now for let them just scale up and get the resources and do the work. For the ECSL, if we take, for example, term reach for them particular elections here, if Parliament's agree for them, the embassies them outside Sierra Leone, feel say the embassies then go able for conduct a free fair elections on behalf of the ECSL, even though they go get representative day, where you talk about the trust issues we outstanding currently, neutrality and professionalism, where you said make mention of. Is it possible for let political them, whether not the embassies them, for make available that space and the elections run smoothly?
I want to let you know, maybe, that before we establish as a country a National Electoral Commission, that was how it was called, the issue of elections was under the purview of the Ministry of Interior. Now they conduct elections. In fact, when you go to them French countries in the sub-region, now so it's TB for most of them. Forget credible elections. It's not so much about the person who is conducting the elections. It's about the process. How transparent, how accountable. So these are the key issues. And when they talk about transparency, it means your process therefore be observable. And it means your process therefore be verifiable. And it means your process therefore be accountable. I don't mind, let a candidate go conduct the elections. But if the process design such that all the one day where they participate as candidates, then they witness them. All interest groups, they witness them. So for a sure say every stage of them, then they follow her up. You don't get anything for do but for do the correct thing. Now make a like way about they talk about law. Elections, they left small room, in fact, almost minimal room for discretion. Now that make anything where they want for do, then they put time into a proposal, a crown go to parliament. Like where they be member early voting. That they not be in the strategic plan. For say the strategic plan. But when they be feel say this so don't happen. Election therefore can be at the time where people they get for go to Mecca. They say I say we for do early voting. So they do the proposal and can go to parliament. And parliament accept. The reason why it is like that now because all man for know what is supposed to happen. And all man for know what is so that one person not get advantage over the other in terms of information about the process.
Then, are you saying anything possible if the ECSL really ready for deliver free and fair elections?
If the ECSL ready for deliver free and fair elections, now they're supposed for begin show.
What are they supposed to do now?
Let the ECSL engage stakeholders. Then they engage stakeholders. Who are these stakeholders when they engage? If we don't say, we know bring down the recommendation 79 discussions to something between you and ECSL. But you really not go able to carry out a discussion on this issue where they say no, help. New was part of the political parties liaison committee where now a lot of discussions they take place about how the electoral process supposed to go on. New was part of the stakeholders, the wider stakeholders, where they do almost a similar thing. The ECSL don't deliberately refuse for the invite you to those meetings. It don't deliberately refuse for attend with programs who say we able for sit down and talk. It don't refuse for accept invitation for let we will get meetings with them and sit down. Yes.
But all of them things there where they outline so they're not new. Anytime you continue for talk. You think say this stalemate if it continue till 2028 elections whilst ECSL go they prepare for the elections, stakeholder like una, they're not involved una. You think say it will cause another problem for the upcoming election?
Now a recipe for for mistrust. Now a recipe for show say the Electoral Commission not well intentioned. Now a recipe for even apprehensions. Okay, if actually you feel say this group of people not for be part of the process, come out publicly and give your reasons why you feel say they're not for participate. Then the public, they know now, say yes, these reasons are cogent. But in the absence of that, we are suspicious. Why? Why is it going this way?
All right. Albert, this stalemate between ECSL and NEW, just like what I tell Reverend, not a new thing. Whenever he's here, now some of the things then this way continue for the call out, say, this is not recipe for mistrust, this is not recipe for chaos, and I'm pretty sure Una self na ECSL no want a repetition of all what Una go through during the 2023 elections. During Una management meetings, Una can make decision. What are the conversations that we can come up for NEW the institution?
I will not say anything with regards NEW wanting to equate its status with ECSL.
That's the try for do.
No, well, it's like I don't want for me to go into this conversation. For example, ECSL, they meet with stakeholders. We get different category of stakeholders. We meet with political parties. We meet with civil society. If NEW feels that they get issue with ECSL, we can find a platform wherein we can
and where you be the left here the last time.
Yes.
This nothing where you say back say
then need for reach out, make we settle.
And they say they don't reach out several times.
Make when I'm in the studios, then the issue raise up back as if now they can discuss those matters. Waiting at the sea, ECSL gets a mandate for conduct elections. NEW as an institution then self gets the mandate. And the Public Elections Act, that the mandate to then get, give them that responsibility for make them reach out to us. Even if you get them waiting, if you come to us. But quite apart, I know I make it look as if it is NEW versus ECSL.
But this reach out, so they ask for, nothing according to Reverend, he's here now. They don't they do several times.
Okay, now the arbiters now. Okay, more talk this case now because that's the impression as if we get issues.
No,
they can talk
if they make them kind of huge allegations against this ECSL, the public is there viewing. They might want to have the opportunity for to respond and talk. If not to say, Una don't left NEW out since the 2023 elections to now.
The only thing I will see in this regard, NEW for able to understand and appreciate the mandate to ECSL get.
They don't understand and appreciate that.
I don't know whether.
But if you're asking for it, it means it's not there.
We have our mandate. Even if you look at us at whatever lens, we have our mandate. But we can find a way out for make we address them. But not when we can't discuss other issues, then you bring them up as topical. We have various institutions, we have various respective mandates. Make we not use this platform for discussing.
Fair enough. You know, for discuss NEW in this public platform.
Being, I'm not a policy maker na ECSL. Akaya so for discuss electoral matters. Not to ECSL in relationship with NEW.
So let me go back to the issue of the electoral matters where they are for discuss. You might not agree, but there is outstanding trust issues between the ECSL and so many people and the public after the 2023 elections. Now this particular proposal, where they on the floor, how ECSL plan for manage trust issues on a neutrality and professionalism for handle diaspora voting. How on a plan for manage all of this?
Okay, before I come to that, let us look at, it seems we are overusing the word trust issues. Again, it is perceptive. If I don't trust you, any kind of way you do, the fact of the matter is I don't trust you. It is perceptive.
So I will try for do something where go make you trust me.
You understand the point. Now, make we come to the operations of ECSL. It go interest you for notice all over the country. We are conducting paramount chieftaincy elections. There is nothing like trust issue. People them waiting at the same constituencies. where some man belong to political parties, but in this case now, na paramount chieftaincy, then they go ask tribal authorities, then they participate in elections. For example, if you go na Bont in Perry, Potloko, you get Makonte, you get Bakeloko, you go na Kono, you get Kamara Chiefdom, where they conduct a lot of paramount chieftaincy elections. There is nothing like trust issue. But when you come, some man they say trust issue. The issue is, since the Tewemi Bigi work 20 years ago na elections, we will not ever conduct elections where we get 100% trust. When someone win, there is good trust. If someone not win, you get the perception. That is not the point for make any talk them now. If you go now the respective chiefdoms, also they conduct paramount chieftaincy elections. Will they conduct them? The process they go on. That now for just tell you see, we get various forms of electoral activities.
This issue of paramount chieftaincy election, I want to do some clarification. Paramount chieftaincy election, in not sound like general the role of the electoral commission in paramount chieftaincy elections, not only their role in conducting general elections. In fact, not only they lead the paramount chieftaincy election process, not only they lead. Their role yonder now for just go conduct that election. Not only they prepare the voters register, not only they oversee the declaration of rights. Now other institutions, that are the Ministry of Ministry of Local Governments, you know, now their responsibility. They just they say because we can conduct elections, yeah, we don't set the stage, we don't put all things in place, we can't conduct this election for we. So let you know put 10 two things
now the issue of the conduct, at least they don't acknowledge say we they conduct the elections. I not talk now say now we do the other aspects. I talk about the conduct of paramount chieftaincy elections. Now they are there. And when we conduct the elections and there is nothing like trust issue. But when we can you get other set of persons where they say trust issue. So, they say,
elections are a process.
And election itself.
Why
is the other one that the elections someone had to go conduct? So this one, when a national, which makes so many people can be interested, now una they ahead of the whole process.
There is never a 100% trust.
So una not care.
No, not all the matter of we not
because
care.
My question
the
is,
law makes provision.
How una plan for work on the one them with not trust the ECSL for handle elections?
Trust is perceptive.
It is, but una get anything una they think of strategizing for work for improve on the lapses of 2023, for example, we make this distrust come between una and the people.
We always do that. The distrust we did in 2007. We improve in 2012. 2012 self-count your distrust. We improve in 2018. We self-count your distrust. Every electoral cycle. That's the reason why I always mention. See, we always use this vague. There are trust issues. It is unfair on the part of the ECSL for make anybody consider them say there are trust issues. Of course, there would always be trust issues. Somebody will win election. And they always tell you, say, for as far as in concern, the election's free and fair. Equally so, do I will not win the election, go always tell you, say, I have issues with the elections. But again, the law makes provision, say, if you get issues with the electoral process,
go court.
You get to say you go.
Go police.
If you don't go there, then you continue to say trust issues. You say they create some kind of figment of imagination that everything is bad. No, everything is not bad. Not perfect.
Okay. You go give the public reason now why then for 1 minute I will come to you. Why then for trust the ECSL for handle both local and the international voting if we reach that stage?
The fact of the matter is the law already don't tell we say that ECSL get the mandate. This is the responsibility the mandate to ECSL get. Where some people now just don't know now say no the three shades on trust issues. Whether you get trust or not, the fact of the matter is as long as it is ECSL, now they get the mandate.
So what's the assurance now for say una go handle them in terms of professionalism, being neutral and the elections come out free and fair?
Just like I make mention of the various paramount chieftains which happen all over the country. Just like I make mention of all other electoral processes. As long as it is ECSL that has the mandate, if the mandate come on at ECSL, you go to another institution, it's a different ball game. But as long as you get the mandate, the law is one where would you go by, because whatever would you do in accordance with this thing the law say. That's the first thing we will always go maintain, even if you not appreciate what they do. But the fact that we are using the legal framework, that the law will go by, whether you agree or not. Most times we don't have platforms where would they disagree with political parties, would they disagree with stakeholders. But the fact of the matter is, we always say, now so the law say. You know, means because we disagree with you, trust issues for come inside. Look at what the law says. That's the reason why if you disagree with us, you go to the court so that the court could say, based upon A, B, C. Now so it will happen. But if you don't use the legal channel, but you always get this notion, say, I not trust ECSL. You just being unfair to ECSL. Whether you trust ECSL or not, as long as there is ECSL, now they get the mandate for conduct public elections. So what is important now for make we all, stakeholders, the media, civil society, we all come together and ensure the process we go with them. But if you stay now the sideline, say, I not trust you. Whether you trust or not, you not one individual or one institution. There are so many other institutions that will trust the ECSL. So the aspect of I not trust you, I not trust you, what is important is the ECSL conducting the electoral processes using the legal framework. Yes, that's not the key.
Quickly, as a way of wrapping up, if this particular diaspora voting come into existence, monitoring a very key aspect in elections. What are the plan? How on a plan for monitor for ensure say everybody will take part in the diaspora adhere to the rules and regulation of the elections?
Well, the commission, they about for finalize the draft of a strategic plan. And most of them recommendations here we come up from the tripartite. They are factored into the strategic plan where they come out. Before the end of the year, the commission will call stakeholders. We don't engage at regional level with stakeholders. What means stakeholders? All stakeholders, political parties, civil society, we fall in that category. We don't engage with them. Moving forward, when the commission therefore put out a strategic plan 2025 to 2029, we will get the details. We go make provision, for example, voter registration. Voter registration are the key broad subject. We part of diaspora registration therefore be part of it. So we don't just look at diaspora registration. We look at voter registration. We include registration of Sierra Leoneans, whether you're inside Sierra Leone or you're in the diaspora. We'll get details there. And also the issue of elections results management systems. We'll get to look at so many things. So basically, that strategic plan forgets with timeline. But the good thing is, as we develop with strategic plan, we look at all of the reforms here where they come in. For example, we will not get a complete strategic plan wherein the issue of fixed dates, we now one of the reforms, it will get for factor into with strategic plan. The issue of all of them reforms here what they talk about. The moment we get all of the reforms here, as they come to light, as they become clear from the national conversation. Now, so we say with strategic plan, they capture all of them things. And basically, the strategic plan will look like the roadmap, how we for achieve diaspora registration or in-country registration, how for achieve A, B, C, as the case may be.
Reverend, as a way of wrapping up, Albert say ECSL they prepare themselves in case Parliament approve this diaspora voting for let them take part in the next elections. As a civil society coalition where they monitor elections, waiting on they look forward to ECSL for do in terms of international best practice from countries them where they adopt the diaspora system of voting.
The ECSL suppose for enter into a research phase for now, for able establish what it will entail, and let that data inform them about what steps they can take, either countries where elections can take place, because not to every country in the world we even get an embassy. But we have Sierra Leoneans almost everywhere. So when they do a research, then decisions and actions will be informed by data. This issue of perception I agree with Albert. Perceptions and trust issues will always come. But that is why you have standards, you have factors that you look at for eliminate perception, for eliminate mistrust. Like it continuously insists, elections are based on a legal framework. And the legal framework, they outline the process, who should be involved, how every activity is supposed to. So, for let perception not come into waiting policy they do, like a we will observe against the basis of the process go according to how the law says. We are people who are performing functions, actually doing the functions assigned to them or not. Did they follow the timelines as stipulated by the legal framework? So now they tear with the work. So even if na bad law, we know they say the election bad because they adhere by the bad law, because that's the law. What will they do? Would they say the election go on according to the legal framework? And then we come now to with findings for say this law will make people be excluded or this and that. And then on recommendations, we recommend waiting for apping for let the amend that law day for let that exclusion thing not come inside. So when we observe, perception not the kind inside, mistrust not the kind inside. And I make when we they give we reports, we know they talk say we mistrust the electoral commission. We they explain exactly what you will see, and then we talk with for happen for let that thing they not happen again. So if you don't know what you mistrust. Let we detach ourselves from the institutions who we serve. Let we be honest and sincere as Sierra Leoneans. The structures they are where they don't set. If they work properly, this country now fine side for live. Now responsibility each and everyone of we get, whosoever will do. Look on our own entity. All this is contributing to how this country is supposed to be. So that's why I am saying the ECSL is not an enemy to National Election Watch. No.
Make mention say una self for realize say the ECSL gets the mandate and the responsibility.
We realize that they pass
and
out
not
they realize
for una they compare una self.
We never compare. Now that make even when they do all this, who done the elections, who don't do reports, findings and recommendations, we submit them to them. We not say that they supposed for handle.
You think the possibility they follow our relationship gets better?
As far as National Election Watch is concerned, 2023 is gone. What we should be thinking about is 2028. How do we collaborate? How do we make it better? How can we win public trust in the electoral system? Because on that day, we don't concern. People, they forget trust in the electoral system. How do we go about that? What are the processes that we make people know that we are prepared to deliver good elections to the country? Anyway, we work the way they do. It's not only limited to Sierra Leone. We have instruments, we have other countries, and they relate with all the countries today. So that let best practice go prevail. And it is an opportunity now for the Electoral Commission for actually take the responsibility devoid of personality. Because we president, now they chair the ECOWAS community. So, finally they do something where they make people point hands at we own country. Where we say that man they go and talk about good things on the other side there, then they say, look na your host. So let people then sit up straight and let Salon actually stand out in the international world.
Thank you very much, Reverend James Lahai, National Coordinator, National Elections Watch New, and also Albert Massaquoi, Director of Communications and External Relations from ECSL. Today we discuss Recommendation 79. We talk about diaspora voting and Idoyeri from ECSL if Parliament therefore approve this section of the tripartite recommendation then just need for prepare themselves and upscale. We mean say by next election, people who are in the diaspora, salon people in the diaspora community go get the opportunity for vote from outside and the next general elections. Well, Liberty TV will continue for all that kind conversation there because there are lots of recommendations that will come out from the tripartite report where the citizens them need for know about. And some of their recommendations there are so very important. So we'll go help for popularize some of their recommendations there. So look at them step by step so that una self and the public will understand the benefits of their recommendation there and how una as citizens them for take charge of some of them conversation there. So continue for watch Liberty TV. Don't forget say today we Darling Leon Stars then go meet up with Burkina Faso na the Samuel Kedo Stadium na Liberia, and Liberty TV go show this game. So stay tuned to Liberty TV as we go show the game later on in the day. Also with Darling Leon Stars. With Darling Leon Stars go take on Burkina Faso and of course then go win that game. They'll wish the boys all the best as then they now in Liberia and we'll give a live coverage of that particular match day. Mina Karija Bangura, they say have a good day.
All right, until we meet again, many thanks to the production team. We make this edition of the Breakfast Show meet you. Until then, may welcome to good day and goodbye.